The cosmopolitan nature of Jos strikes a chord for the young, old, and even for foreign nationals who never miss to have a feel of the place many fondly call J-Town. However, the recurring unrest puts this narrative in doubt. But the good news is that the state government is proactive in the area of conflict resolution. Last week, we had the man at the helm of affairs who, among other things, shared his efforts at restoring the glory of the Home for Peace and Tourism. Welcome to the concluding part of our conversation with Simon Bako Lalong on the program Inspirators. 7th of February is not just like any other day for Plateau State. It is one that is impregnable with ideals of forgiving the sins of the past and forging a new course to the path of peace. This year was no different.
What is happening here and what we are doing today is a reflection of his commitment to ensuring that communities understand themselves and that we are able to transform the very conditions that engender violent conflict in Plateau State.
With the help of peace building, they have been coming to us to discuss issues with us, we and the Fulani women. And we have decided that we should forgive each other. We should forgive each other and forge ahead.
For Simon Bako Lalong, keeping at bay mischief makers and curtailing insecurity in Plateau State is one that keeps him on his toes.
In addition to the peace agency, what I did was establish the Interreligious Council. Interreligious Council. You hardly see that in most states. What we did that we carefully selected heads of denomination, what is Muslims and Christians. And we put them into a place, inaugurated them. I said this one is the Interreligious Council, co-chaired by a reverend and also the chairman of the GNI in Plateau State, who is also the Emir of Wasi. So every time we had challenges, because most of these crises were all seen to be ethno-religious. So anytime we had that crisis and they say it is religious problem, we send it first to the IRC. They call it IRC, Interreligious Council. The Interreligious Council will summon a meeting, sit down on it, deliberate on it, and send a solution to the governor for implementation. And before you know anything, that issue would have died down. We adopted community policing, and with all those things, tried to also use the community policing in addressing the issue of herdsmen farmers. Because what was predominantly our challenge, security challenge, was herdsmen farmers conflict. So we're able to address that. And today we're amongst the first few states that are privileged and accepted approved by Mr. President for the implementation of the National Livestock Transformation Program.
The Plateau has always been known as the state for peace and tourism.
Yes.
And now with insecurity, how do you hope to restore this attraction, for tourists to come back to the state and, enjoy what the state has to offer?
We consulted. We were supposed to have an economic summit, the first economic summit. If not for COVID, we would have done our economic summit. Because in the second year, we engaged a consulting firm, from a UK consulting firm, to tell us our areas of priority. And they came, they did everything, did the consultancy, and they told us three things: agriculture, mining, and tourism. They said just these three, you have a comparative advantage. So we are now going to do our summit, and after summit, concentrate on these things. In tourism, you need also infrastructure. You need peace. So what we are now doing is to ensure that we sustain that peace.
Like a tree with many branches, Lalong takes on several responsibilities as not just the governor of Plateau State, but also as chairman of Northern Governors Forum. A collective mission driven towards addressing issues that will bring a more secure region.
The first 2 years, I must say, wasn't easy because we were running. I was always running from one state to the other. My state was there, but I must say that I thank God that within that time there was peace in Plateau State. We had to run to Sokoto, run to northwest, run to northeast, not every time when there was this security challenge all over. Again, I said through that kind of experience, we were able to galvanize some of these things, and we sat down, set up a committee, and those committees brought out far-reaching resolutions which we are implementing at the Northern Governors Forum. You see the challenge of youth restiveness, the challenge of traditional rulers, the challenge of even the effect of the NSAS, especially in the north, and then also the challenge of the northern economy that was going down was through these reports that we got. So with the implementation of the reports, in so many of those places, we saw a lot of improvement in the Northern Governors Forum.
The home of peace and tourism is a mantra that hinges on a wider narrative of fairness and justice. For Lalong, his legacies are embedded on bequeathing a state that will be that reflection years on. Some insinuations circulated on the social media alleging that you are not protecting the Plateau people.
Yes.
How would you respond to this?
Well, I will say that is the voice of opposition. You know, Plateau being, I told you 53 ethnic groups. It is not easy to say you are handling something and another ethnic group will say it is done against them. Now people believe that, like other states, when you see crisis in your state, what you do, you come out and say you are defending this one, even when you know that both are wrong. When we had a challenge between Biroms and the Fulanis, I said all of you are wrong. Let us sit down on a table and resolve the matter. We sat down on the table and we resolved the matter, and there were no crises in that place again. So what will somebody say? You are a leader of people. I am elected and I swore to defend everybody that is resident within Plateau State, in Plateau State.
Lalong's affiliation to social interaction broadens in spectrum. One as a Knight of St. Gregory and an active alumnus of his alma mater, ABU Zaria.
When you are in high offices, there are two things you should not forget. Classmates, and I think your peer groups and your classmates. Because when you retire, that is when you need them, and also your family. Be very close to your family.
Through different phases of life, he posits his guiding principles as focus, hard work, and a healthy family background.
My father had 2 wives, and the first wife had no children. And fortunately for me, what they did was that the first wife was my mother. They call her my mother up to the time she died. Up to the time we grew up, I didn't know that the second wife was my mother.
Oh.
The way the first wife treated us. Me, as the first child of my mother, when they married her, she had no child. So when they married my mother and they gave back to me, she quickly snatched me. And everything, I was staying with her, everything, the same house. I will see my mother and her fighting over me. I didn't know that the other one was my mother. I call my mother with her name, but the other one, I call her mommy, because we didn't believe she was our mother. So that is the kind of level of, so I will say I saw that humility. And every time we are moving, it's not unlike these days. The parents will call you when I was going to school. My mother, the first wife, she didn't want me going to school, leaving to go to school. They will tell you, focus, work hard, don't look at somebody's thing, look at your own. Whatever you get, be contented with it. whatever is not your own, don't put your eyes on that thing, and be very, very honest and truthful.
Like I was promised, the next day we set out for a game of golf, and Lalong did not disappoint. So how does your day, typical day start? Already I've seen you attend to 1 or 2 people.
Yes.
And 1 or 2.
Well, usually what I do, if not now, my wife takes care of gym. That one, she's the master. So early in the morning, she wakes me, she's on the gym. Sometimes I'm always tempted to also join her in the gym. You know, we do small gym, and I come out to see people. When I see people, I go to the office. I finish from the office. Sometimes if I'm early, I come back around 5. I do 9 holes golf. Wow. I go back, wait.
So it's like a ritual.
Then 8 o'clock every day. 8 o'clock, I start seeing people. I think one of the best exercises is walking. Apart from swimming, the next best exercise is walking. So golf is about walking and intelligence. Now, what you do here is already in your brain. You are aiming at what to do in the last hole. If it's a par 3, you are expected to put it inside three times. If you put it 2 times, that's good, excellent.
Okay, let's start now. Let's start.
Thank you.
Oh, great. So that's the next. What?
This is the hole.
Okay.
Now you are supposed to play not more than 3 times. That's normal. Okay. They call it a par 3. If it's a par 3, it's just 3 times. So you can see him now. Okay. It's a par 3. Okay. So you play.
You are playing with him, or you are just playing alone now?
No, I'm playing with him.
Oh, okay.
He put in his scores, I'm putting my scores. Yes.
Nice.
So you see, it's even score. He
Sorry,
played 3, I
can
played
I
3.
just have a swing? Let me just see how it feels. Yes.
You are playing inside the surface here or outside?
Just anywhere.
Okay. But
Let me.
You know, there are 14 clubs.
Okay.
Every club has its own distance.
Okay.
Every club has its own distance. Every club has its own purpose.
Okay.
All
right.
You stand
like
there.
This?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Then you are aiming.
Oh, okay.
You see?
So I still have to make
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then you have to play it inside the cup.
Okay.
You see, you still have to play.
I have to finish it.
So as you are doing it, you are ending.
Now I understand what you mean by integrity.
You have made 2 strokes now.
Okay.
You are playing the third one.
I hope this sentence.
You see?
Equal to what we played from there.
Okay.
Because we got 3 plates.
So that means you played 5
Oh.
instead of 3.
3.
So that 2 is added to your score, which is bad score.
Oh, interesting. Now, I've noticed you are a man who with deep family values.
Yes.
And of course, how does it help when it comes to leadership? You know, family values, orientation of good family values and leadership. How does it help?
Yeah, it helps.
Has the family been supported in every way?
Very well. If you have good family values, you enjoy it because it also helps you in leadership. If you have bad family, you are restless, you are disorganized. Completely you wake up or you come back in the evening, you find trouble in your family. Your wife is a nagging type and all those things, problems here and there, your children, scattered children. So you are not, your mind is not at rest. Leadership requires that you have good rest of mind. Because like sometimes I come back from an office or come back from a campaign or come back from a meeting, political meeting. My wife understands me very well. She knows when I am trouble. And what she will do is to try to placate me in such a way that at least I will, she knows that the mind is trouble. Then I will tell her that I just left the meeting. That meeting was not too good. I was not happy about that meeting. And she will say, okay, you know, tomorrow is as usual. Now, tomorrow you will settle them.
Interesting. So we'll do the
Yes.
this one.
Kabuga. So you see this one, the flag is over there.
Okay.
This one is 4. This one is number 4.
4. Okay.
It's not 3 again.
Oh, okay.
Where the children, those 2 children are.
Okay.
Eh?
Okay.
So we're going there.
Okay.
We're walking down there.
Okay.
So you can see the distance. By the time you walk, they calculate. It will be about 6 to 7 kilometers. Golf started in Jos, 1913, by the British when they came for mining. And the oldest golf course is in Jos here, Redfield Golf Course. That's the one that would have gone to play, but it's too early in the morning. So Redfield has the oldest golf course in Nigeria.
Is there a culture of golf in Plateau?
Yes.
Aside being the oldest, having the oldest golf course.
No, that's what I'm saying, because when they came for mining, the British settled here. A lot of them were here. Even the Queen came to Nigeria. When she came for independence, this was where she stayed. She didn't sleep, I don't think she slept in Lagos. After finishing the occasion, she flew into Jos because there were a lot of British here doing mining. So it was when they came that they created a golf course. So they were playing golf.
And it's still a game of interest up to today.
Yes, and that is the oldest golf course. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't put attention on that golf course. Until I came, I've now made a green. You know a green?
Yeah.
This one is a green. But you go to most golf courses, you won't see them. It is just brown. They call it brown. It's just sand like this. So we just made it a green. And in St. Andrews, that's where the history of golf started. If you go to St. Andrews, in all the golf courses in Nigeria, what you will see is Redfield Golf Course. Because that is what is there, that they know. So because and trophies, where they won all the trophies, they were playing there, all the white men were playing. They are all there. So we are now celebrating the golf course, the oldest golf course, all over the country, even outside the country. They are coming because we are celebrating the oldest golf course in Nigeria. So we are putting advert and a lot of people are coming.
Now, what would your advice be for youth, especially in this time and age, where we see a lot of crime and criminality on the increase?
Yes.
And they are being held culpable for all this, especially with the 2023 elections coming.
For us here, we developed a concept. We call it 3 E's.
Okay.
We have engagement, employment, and empowerment. That was what we started in 2015. If we don't engage, we must empower. If we don't empower, we employ. Few of them are employed, some of them are engaged, and other ones are empowered. Engagement means that we try to get opportunities for them. Here, we developed this through this Medan small SME. And we return every year, we are returning the best. The first SME, the first of SME is from here. The boy who constructed a tractor, produce a car. The next one, he produced a car. Malo, they call him Malo. So everywhere vice presidents do SME, they must take it. Here. The next one is, I think, a mouse for the blind. Very creative. Plateau people are very, very creative.
The next one is
furniture, into furniture. He was the best. So all of them, when you do that, you now get a bank of industries or some facilities, you give it to them. And they're employing people. This is what the concept will tell them. You know, before they will tell you, it's because there's no employment. We say, which employment? This one is better for you.
Yes.
Than to go and wait and collect 200,000, collect 50,000, 20,000. You are an employer of labor. Yes. So that's what we are doing. That's the concept we are doing here in Plateau State.
Oh, there's a record keeping?
Yes, this is the card.
so the end of the
You have to write the scores.
Oh, okay. So for each set of games, how many people can you have? 4 people.
Huh?
Okay. All right. So on the final note, what advice would you? What advice do you have for youth and generally on the concept of leadership? This is quite important. So people miss the point when it comes to leadership. Now they think of all what they can get in their pocket. But first and foremost, we should always put at the back of our mind service.
Yes.
So what do you have in mind?
I think what I have in mind, especially for upcoming youth, is patience. They must be patient. They must also be very focused and determined. For some of us, I always give myself as a model. I said I didn't start with a silver spoon. I grew up in a very poor family. I didn't know one day I would get up to this stage. And so youth must be very, very patient and focused. Because once you get focused, it's not always that you compare yourselves and you say, this person, these people are doing it this way. No. Put yourself in a different environment and also strive to get, even if you don't get to the highest best, at least you are within the medium. Things are available, especially skill acquisition is what we are doing now. And in our days, there were no focus on skill acquisition. It was always on government employment. Today, the employments are not there. That does not mean that there are no opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities. So I appeal to the youth to get to focus on getting these opportunities to exhibit their skills, because that thing can take them anywhere. Even in sports, today I spoke about sports yesterday when I was talking about being a footballer, and even one time invited to the national team. In those days, sports was not earning any money, but after that, I saw the likes of Michael Obi with everybody coming back to Jos as millionaires. Instant millionaires. I was speaker when we sold him out, when he was playing for Plateau United. When the time we were playing at the stadium, he was a ball boy, picking balls here and there. But all of a sudden, Michael became a footballer. We engaged him with Plateau United, and within a short time, Michael was sold out. Today, Michael is a millionaire. Today, millionaire in sports. So that is the kind of attitude I want our younger ones to do. Prepare for yourself, prepare for the future. Only God knows what you will be tomorrow. No more answers. No more coming back on answers. No more engagement in criminal activities like kidnapping, like banditry. I think we should stop that and get focused in the little opportunity that is given to us, because for government, their own is to provide the enabling environment. And if the enabling environment is there, I call on those youth to take opportunity, take advantage of that opportunity.
All right, thank you very much,
Thank
Your
you.
Excellency.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Simon Bako Lalong. It's been an interesting journey with you. And of course, this is where we end the program. It's Inspirators on NTA. Join us next week for another interesting episode. I am Ngozi Chude. Meanwhile, the game still continues.
Thank you.